What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. People were sending me articles specifically about Trump and Elon Musk and Ye and Kyrie and everybody else that's going on. The girl that was in Cabo that got beat up by some ladyboys and a bunch of other stuff. So we have things to tackle, but specifically I want to talk about Trump and Twitter and Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk did a poll apparently, and in that poll he asked all of the people that follow him whether or not he should unban Trump, which as of now, give or take, I believe he's been banned for about 22 months. Which for me is crazy that a former president, or at the time I believe current president, was banned from a social media platform. Now, I believe that his ban, or the possibility of his ban being lifted from Facebook, is coming up very, very shortly. And then on top of that, news has now come up that if you go over to Twitter and you go to the Real Donald Trump, I believe that's the name of it, Real Donald Trump, it's been lifted. Now, the caveat to this is Trump has launched his own social media platform. Now, where does Ye come into this? We're going to tie it all together, right? Trump has launched his own social media platform called Truth Social. I believe that a lot of people love the idea of launching your own social media platform, ownership, and, you know, one of the things that I like to talk about is how it comes back to the money. So I'm not as concerned about whether or not he lifted it or didn't lift it. I am concerned about a lot of different things, but the priority always comes back to the money, because it's money and power that controls the world. It's not how you feel. It's not whether or not people believe in a specific thing. In order to even be able to wield or unmute or uncensor or remove the censorship or the banning of Donald Trump from Twitter, you had to have Elon Musk overpay to the tune, in my opinion, of over 25, maybe even $30 billion, because if he truly paid $44 billion for Twitter, then he just doesn't care about money and he really values free speech. But again, the caveat here is Trump to use Twitter, which could quite possibly be a very good move when it comes to him being able to galvanize his base and a group of people and having more visibility for his upcoming, recently announced 2024 run. Or he cannot use it and continue to galvanize his base on a much smaller platform in Truth Social, which technically is a platform that is piloted by him and his team, and he has a level of ownership in it. Now we can go through the details and we could talk about SPACs and things like that, but that's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about making strategic decisions, and Trump, which is he's not unknown when it comes to being able to market himself effectively, because I believe that the whole reason why he got into the presidential race in 2016 was because it was an opportunity for him to market himself and market the possibility of him releasing more products and staying visible in the minds and the eyes of other people. And then it just took on a life of its own, and then he resonated with the people because they were tired of shucking and jiving politics or political people that are telling them what they want to hear and not necessarily telling them the truth. And that's one of the reasons why I value Trump. It's not necessarily that I agree with everything that he says, but I value the idea that he just gonna tell you what he really thinking, and I can rock with that. I can really roll with that. Shout out to the what is that, the fire truck, the ambulance? Shout out to them. Neither here nor there. I think that it's best for him to utilize both platforms. I think that it's always important for a person to make sure that they're driving traffic, and if he's smart, then he would drive traffic similar to, and us on a much smaller scale, we building out our own thing, and that's going to be released sometime in 2023. But the idea of it is that we don't want to abandon the platforms where everybody are. We want to make sure that we drive traffic to what we ultimately are going to be communicating on. So I think that it's important for him to use it at a smaller scale and then give people the real shebang. when they get over to his platforms or what it is that he's doing. So I think that the problem and the uproar with people is that they don't really understand, and they're not looking at it from a financial perspective. They're not looking at it from a power play perspective. The only thing that they care about is their emotions. And when you get people emotional, often at times you can get them to do whatever it is that you want them to do and manipulate them, because they're not thinking clearly. And even if you talk about when people buy things, the reason why it's easy for credit card companies to be able to offer you certain things and then you rock with them is because you actually subconsciously think that you have more to be able to pay, and you think that just because it's a possibility, or you really, really believe that you can pay it off in its entirety, you still are charged emotionally to spend more than you really would or you normally would. It's even the reason why casinos, they put chips out on the table instead of you letting you bet with cash, because the idea of it is that they want you to not value it as much and then make an emotional decision, which is ultimately not going to be in your best interest. And so I think that if Trump was smart, which I don't believe that he's electable at this point because it's too polarizing, and I don't think that people truly understand that those that have or control the swing vote and whatever happens in these in these political elections, I said financial elections, that's really what they are. And these political elections are women of all nationalities who are largely emotional. And, you know, you have feminists, you have people that designate themselves as a part of the alphabet community and things like that. They're going to be the determining vote. It's not going to be men, it's not going to be black men, it's not going to be white men, it's not going to be none of that. He can galvanize a group of people, but as we've seen in 2020, when the chips are really on the table and you want the most uninformed group of people in order to really be able to push an agenda, all you have to do is tap into them. And it's a lot of people that didn't even know who was on the ballot outside of what was in the national. It's a lot of people that don't even know who their local legislators are. They don't know who represents them in the Senate, House of Representatives. They don't know who represents them in Congress. They don't even know who their treasurer are, their city council members, mayors. They may know the mayor, but everybody else they don't really even know. Even on a local level, it's much more important for you to participate on a local level than it is on a national level. But we all know that midterm elections are largely ignored, and if you really want to go into a community and look at the polling numbers, you'll realize that those are the lowest participants in any election, including the midterm election. The midterm election is just anemic. That's amazing to me. That's the time that you figure out your millages and where the funding goes, and schools and community colleges and police and all of that type of stuff. But if you want to control the popular opinion, all you got to do is market to those that are the least informed and the most emotional. I believe that if Trump is not emotional, and if he truly wants to win this election, which I don't know why anybody of means other than just ego and power would want to run for any kind of national election, maybe the president, but outside of that, I don't know why they would want to do that. He would utilize both platforms, but I'm curious as to what you guys think. Do you think that it was a good idea for Elon Musk to release the hounds, in which people are so emotional? And I think that Elon Musk said that Twitter's engagement has been higher than it's ever been, and so he knows how to market himself effectively. He knows what gets people riled up. I don't think that any of these people that are proclaiming themselves to leave Twitter are ever going to do so, because they are addicted, just like people are addicted to Instagram and every other platform that they participate on the most. I'm not a fan of AOC and what it is that she's doing. I'm not a fan of what's going on, but we also know that these people continue to get reelected regardless of whatever you think is going on in your little sphere as far as people not liking them. It matters. It matters what happens, and you being able to market yourself effectively is the move. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. What do you think about Elon Musk lifting the Twitter ban on Donald Trump? How that plays into the financial aspect of things, what it means for censorship, and then do we need more people like Elon Musk, whether you agree with somebody or not to censor somebody, because it is important for all of us to be able to have certain conversations, have civil discourse, because if you censor one person, you censor everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm definitely going to be releasing a new video soon, maybe even tonight. Then I got a new interview that I'm releasing tomorrow. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.